Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Rule 26, which is fishing vessels. Starts with the first paragraph. A vessel engaged in fishing, whether underway or at anchor, shall exhibit only the lights and shapes prescribed in this rule. The key bit in here is whether you are underway or at anchor. So even if you are at anchor, you need to show the lights and shape in this rule. Paragraph B. A vessel when engaged in trolling, by which is meant the dragging through the water of a dredge net or other apparatus used as a fishing appliances, shall exhibit. First paragraph. 2 all-round lights in a vertical line, the upper being green and the lower white, or a ship consisting of 2 cones, with their apexes together in a vertical line above the other. So these 2 round lights, green over white, they are going to be replacing what would be the masthead light of a power-driven vessel. You can remember it quite easily by just thinking green over white is a trawler at night. And then analogous to the power-driven vessel, you need to show. Paragraph. A masthead light above off and higher than the all-around green light, a vessel of less than 50 meters in length shall not be obliged to exhibit such a light, but may do so. So this is equivalent to the power-driven vessel. You are indicating if you are greater than 50 meters in length, and then finally, when you are making way through the water, you need to show side lights and a stern light. So this is one of the big difference, is these vessels indicate whether they are actually making way. If they are stopped and not making way, they will turn off their side lights and their stern light. So let's watch this video.
Vessel is engaged in fishing. If she's engaged in trawling, of course, she's then going to exhibit the all-round green light above the all-round white light. If she's greater than 50 meters in length, she needs that masthead light abaft and higher than those all-round lights. And then if she's making way through the water, side lights and a stern light.
Third paragraph. When making way through the water into the lights prescribed in this paragraph, side lights and stern light. So in this paragraph C, a vessel engaged in fishing other than trolling shall exhibit the same again. First paragraph. 2 all-round lights in a vertical line, the upper being red and the lower white, or a ship consisting of 2 cones with affixes together in a vertical line, one above the other. So this is the same day ship as before. In the daytime, you cannot tell whatever it's a trawler or a vessel other than trolling unless they are showing other signals. Paragraph C. A vessel engaged in fishing other than trolling shall exhibit the same again. First paragraph. 2 all-around lights in a vertical line, the upper being red and the lower white, or a ship consisting of 2 cones with apexes together in a vertical line, one above the other. So this is the same day ship as before. In the daytime, you cannot tell whether it's a trawler or a vessel other than trolling unless they are showing other signals. When there is outlaying gear extending more than 150 meters horizontally from the vessel, an all-around white light or a cone apex upwards in the direction of the gear. So these vessels, instead of indicating their length, they are using the second light to show you if there's gear more than 150 meters away from them in one direction. And the reason they have to do this, that these vessels could have their gear in any direction. Trawler, because they are defined as dragging through the water, you can safely assume that the fishing gear is probably going to be behind them, whereas there's one, it could be in any direction, so they will tell you if it is more than 150 meters. As before, if they're making way, they need to show side lights and a stern light. Let's watch this video.
Comprises of 3 rules. The first of which gives a bit of information about these lights. Most important bit saying that they've got to be visible all around the horizon at a distance of at least 1 mile. This tells us they're all going to be all-round lights. Section 2 says signals for trawlers. So these are signals for trawlers. Vessels of 20 metres or more when engaged in trawling, whether using demersal or pelagic gear, you need to exhibit 2 white lights in a vertical line when you're shooting your nets, or 1 white light over a red light when you're hauling your nets. And this is different to the lights that are indicating your vessel, because the white light this time is on top, so it's going to be white over red. Remember, these only apply for trawlers, so you know that the main lights are going to be the green over white. And then when your net has come fast, you're going to have to show 2 red lights in a vertical line.
Paragraph 3. When making way through the water, in addition to the lights prescribed in this paragraph, side lights and stern lights. Paragraph D. The additional signals described in Annex 2 to this regulation apply to a vessel engaged in fishing in close proximity to other vessels engaged in fishing. And then the final paragraph. A vessel, when not engaged in fishing, shall not exhibit the lights or ships prescribed in this rule, but only those prescribed for a vessel for her length. So let's go back to the paragraph D and watch this video.
More in length, engaged in pair trawling. So these are pair trawlers, so if you're trawling with another vessel, at night you need to have a searchlight directed forwards and in the direction of the other vessel of the pair. So this is going to be telling people that you're joined together by a net and the other vessel is over in that direction. And then when you're shooting, hauling, or if your nets have come fast, you've got to show the same lights as we've just talked about. Then finally, if you're less than 20 metres, you may show these lights, but you don't have to do so. The third rule talks about purseaners. And if you're engaged in purseaning, you need to be showing 2 yellow lights in a vertical line. Those lights have got to flash alternately every second, with equal light and occultation duration. This just means equal time on as it is off. You can only exhibit these lights when you're hampered by your gear.